Good evening. Tonight's video will contain 2 emergency calls whose dispatchers played a fatal role. Generally, we are grateful for the service of these dispatchers, but every once in a while, there's 1 or 2 who dislike their jobs or people so much that it results in harm to people who really need some help. Who remembers the 2021 Texas winter storm that caused over $195 billion in damage? Let me refresh your memory. The temperatures dipped to -7 degrees, and it was considered the 8th deadliest week during the pandemic. A total of 6,484 Texans died during this 7-day period. Carbon monoxide poisoning was also a serious concern as the power grid was shut down and people struggled to get warm. People began running their cars and grills in their garages as a way to beat below freezing temperatures, which caused over 1,400 people to be hospitalized from carbon monoxide, with at least 17 dying. These calls take place during that period. February 15th, 2021, Michael Neguse received messages on social media advising him to check in on his cousin, as they had passed out while on the phone with this person. Michael then makes a call to 911 after several failed attempts to contact his cousin. You're going to want to punch this operator.
Medical, police, or fire?
We think medical, a wellness check.
What's going on?
We have family there right now, and the last time somebody spoke to them, they fainted on the phone, and we're just trying to find out if they're okay.
Okay, stay on the line for Houston Medical. 1 moment.
Nobody's on scene, so it's one of those things. If they get there and they have to force entry, they're going to break the door, displace the lock.
Yeah, that's fine. Do that as soon as possible.
Okay. But this isn't your family member, right?
I mean, this is our family.
Okay. Part of the family. Okay. All right. We'll have to call HPD out there. And are you going to go, since they're your family, will you be responding to the location?
I mean, should we? We thought there was like a stay-home order because of the snow. We don't know if we can take
I mean, can't force you to do anything. We'll respond.
So we think that they might have inhaled carbon monoxide in the garage.
Why do you think that?
Because of people that had called them in the morning.
Why would you have been inhaling carbon monoxide is the question.
Because the car was on in the garage and they were cooking because the power was on. They were trying to charge their devices.
Well, we have units out there. I'll let them know. Make a tactical decision on that incident. I'll get HPD out there. All right, thank you.
Okay, and you'll keep us updated. I called 2.5 hours ago for a wellness check. I'm calling for an update.
Okay, so we went out there.
Did you make contact with the people inside the home? I spoke to the fire department earlier. It says the truck was there for 15 minutes, but that's all they could tell me.
Okay, that's
the
same thing I can tell you. But I have the same information they have. There's no other update or anything since then.
Okay, so I think there's some confusion as to what's going on. We think that the people inside the home might have fainted as a result of carbon monoxide inhalation.
Okay, patient fainted on phone earlier today. We made location. We were on scene for 15 minutes, and they closed the call. So they were there. You said you spoke to the fire department earlier.
We do not know if the people we are calling for, the people we want a wellness check done, are well. That is the thing that we are trying to confirm. And so the truck being there for 15 minutes does not confirm that.
Okay, and I can't tell you anything else, so let me get you in touch with one of the fire captains, and maybe they could tell you more.
Okay. My family and I are concerned about the well-being of the family, 2 parents, 2 children inside of that home. Is there any way that you can confirm that they are well?
No, the only thing we could do is check with that engine company, see if maybe, if they remember, if they made contact with anybody, but they're on emergency run, so other than that, that's the only thing we can do. So at this time, we can't do anything. We can't confirm it.
Hello?
Did you call 911?
Yes.
Hey, we have some units out there. They're having trouble finding it. Is there a townhome number?
Give me 1 second.
All right, no problem. They went to the address. They said it looks empty. Why do y'all think someone's there? Or are y'all sure someone's there?
We think that a family of 2 parents and 2 children is unconscious due to carbon monoxide inhalation.
If it were normal circumstances, Michael Neguse would have driven the 24 minutes to his cousin's neighborhood. but the amount of ice on the road forced local authorities to issue a stay-at-home order. One of the biggest issues in this scenario was the fact that the first operator did not relay all the relevant information he had to first responders. He failed to relay the potential for carbon monoxide poisoning. When first responders finally arrived on the scene, it had been 3 or 4 hours since the initial call was placed, and 12 hours since Bekele and his family were initially exposed. Bekele's wife had been using her car to keep warm, which resulted in her passing out from the fumes. Both Bekele's wife and daughter passed away from carbon monoxide poisoning, and his son Bimne was immediately put on a ventilator due to his critical condition status. Doctors had given Bimne a low chance of survival, but Bekele stayed at his son's side. After 2 weeks and spending his birthday in the hospital, Bimne made a full recovery and is doing well. This next one is just as infuriating, if not more. Elizabeth Hall, a supervised visitation coordinator assigned to the children of Josh Powell, was performing her duties on February 5, 2012. She walked Powell's 2 sons, Braden, 5, and Charles, 7, into the home. But as soon as the second boy passed the threshold, Powell slammed the door in Hall's face and locked it immediately. Powell heard the boys crying and immediately called 911.
Hey, I'm on a supervised visitation for a court-ordered visit, and something really weird has happened. The kids went into the house, and the parent, the biological parent, whose name is Josh Powell, will not let me in the door. What should I do?
What's the address?
It's 8119, and I think it's 89. I don't know what the address is.
Okay. That's pretty important for me to know.
Sorry, I can't. Just a minute. Let me get in my car and see if I can find it. Nothing like this has ever happened before at these visitations, so I'm really shocked. And I could hear one of the kids crying, but he still wouldn't let me in. Okay, it is but I think I need help right away. He's on a very short lease with CSHS, and CPS has been involved. And this is the craziest thing. He looked right at me and closed the door. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am. I'm just waiting to know where you are.
Okay. It's 8119 189th Street, Port East, Puyallup, 98375. And I'd like to pull out of the driveway because I smell gasoline and he won't let me in.
You want to pull out of the driveway because you smell gasoline, but he won't let you...
He won't let me in.
He won't let you out of the driveway?
He won't let me in the house.
Whose house is
Got the
it?
kids in the house and he won't let me in. It's a supervised visit.
I understand. Whose house is it?
Josh Powell.
Okay, so you don't live there, right?
No, I don't. No, I'm contracted to the state to provide supervised visitation.
I see. Okay. And who is there to exercise their visitation?
I am. And the visit is with Josh Powell.
And who
And
supervises?
he is the husband that I supervise.
So you supervise and you're doing the visit?
Yeah,
You
I
supervise yourself?
I supervise myself. I'm the supervisor here.
Wait a minute. If it's a supervised visit, you can't supervise yourself. If you're the
I do
visitor.
supervise myself. I'm the supervisor for the supervised visit.
Okay, well, aren't you the one making the visit? Or is there another
I'm the
parent
one-
that you're supervising?
No, I'm the one that supervises. I pick up the kids at their grandparents.
Yes. And then who visits with the children?
Josh Powell.
Okay, so you're supposed to be there to supervise Josh Powell's visit with the children.
Yes, that's correct.
And how did
And he's the husband of missing Susan Powell. This is a high-profile case.
how did he gain access to the children before you got there?
I was one step in back of them.
Okay, so they
He
went into
shut
the
the
house
door
and
in
then he
my face.
locked you out.
Yeah, he shut the door right in my face.
Your last name?
My name is Elizabeth Griffin Hall, and the kids have been in there by now approximately 10 minutes. And he knows
How
this
many
is
children?
a supervised visit. 2. Braden is 5, and Charlie is 7.
The dad's last name?
Powell, Powell.
His first name?
His first name is Josh.
Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Native,
He's white.
date of birth,
I don't know. He's about 39.
how tall?
5'10", 150 pounds.
Did you notice what he was wearing?
No, I didn't notice what he was wearing.
Is he alone then, or is anybody?
I don't know. I couldn't get in the house.
Are you in a vehicle now or on foot?
I'm in a vehicle. I'm in a Prius, a 2010 Prius.
What color
with
is
the doors locked. But he hasn't opened the door. I rang the doorbell and everything.
What color
I begged him to let me in.
Elizabeth, please listen to my questions. What color is the Toyota Prius?
Gray, dark gray.
And the license number?
I don't know. I can look.
All right, we'll have somebody look for you there.
Okay, how long will it be?
I don't know, ma'am. They have to respond to emergency, life-threatening situations first. The first available deputy.
Well, this could be life-threatening. He went to court on Wednesday, and he didn't get his kids back. And this is really, I'm afraid for their lives.
Okay, has he threatened the lives of the children previously?
I have no idea.
All right, we'll have the first available deputy contact you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hello?
Hi, ma'am. Were you calling about the fire in the 8200 block of
Yes, he
188th Street,
exploded the house.
Ma'am,
Yes,
do you know
he exploded the house.
do you know the exact address of the house, or are you?
Yes, it's 8119 189th Street, Court East, 2 hours.
Okay, stand line. Do you know if anyone's in the house?
Yes, there was a man and 2 children. I just dropped off the children, and he wouldn't let me in the door.
Okay, stand line for the fire department. Okay, I'm going to get them on the line. Do not hang up. Hold on.
And people are saying there's not somebody here, but I was just there, and there is somebody here. There's 2 little boys in the house, and they're 5 and 7, and there's an adult man. He has supervised visitation, and he blew up the house and the kids. Kids and the husband and the father were in the house? Yeah. Yes, he slammed the door in my face. So I kept knocking. I thought it was a mistake. I kept knocking, and then I called 911. You saw him go back into the house in the flame, right before the flame? He didn't ever leave the house. He just opened the door. The kids were 1 step ahead of me. They're 5 and 7. They were 1 step ahead of me, and he slammed the door in my face. And you think he might have done this intentionally? Yeah.
Thank you very much, fire. Ma'am, what is your name, please?
I'm Elizabeth Griffin Hall, and I'm the supervised visitor.
Okay, hold on. Elizabeth, hold on just a moment. Ma'am? Okay, so your last name is Griffin what?
Griffin Hall, Griffin Hall, Hall.
Okay. And your phone number is 360-990-9955 is your personal cell number. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's
okay.
correct.
Where are you at right now?
I'm at 81112 on the same court.
Okay, so you're waiting down the street at 8112 109th Street Court, 189th Street Court East.
Yeah.
Okay. And are you in your car?
I was in my car. I'm standing outside it right now.
Okay. Is that your home? Is that your home address?
No, that's not my home address. I was the supervised visitation coordinator. I picked the children up.
What is that person's name?
His name is Josh Powell. Just a minute, the sheriff's here. Let me tell him
go ahead and talk in the house. Go ahead and talk to the officer, ma'am.
Josh Powell's wife, Susan Marie Powell, went missing on December 6, 2009. She was last seen at her home by neighbors after attending a church service. Susan went missing while Josh Powell and his 2 boys were allegedly out on a camping trip in the Utah desert. In September 2011, Josh Powell lost custody of his 2 sons after child photos were discovered in the home during a police search. Stephen Powell, Josh's father, had been living in the home following his wife's disappearance and was found to be the owner of this illicit material. Stephen was charged on 14 counts of voyeurism and 1 count of possession of CP, landing him in prison. There's speculation that Powell's boys may have been abused in multiple ways while in the home, but there is nothing conclusive that I can find. Josh Powell set his house on fire with his children inside on February 5, 2012. Investigators confirmed that the boys survived the explosion, but inhaled a fatal amount of carbon monoxide. Their attorney stated that the boys had begun speaking about the day their mom died, saying they remember going out late at night with their dad, and their mother riding in the trunk. Powell committed an utter atrocity and will never really understand why. The real question is, would things have gone down the same way if priority had been placed on the initial call by Elizabeth Hall? Don't forget to slash the like button's tires for that thing it did back in the 5th grade. You know what I'm talking about. As always, have a lovely night and stay safe. There's all kinds of maniacs out there. I'm one of them.